it's vocal coach Jaime Vendera, and we're back for another Singer Spotlight. This time it's with another one of my favorite students from the Academy, Priyantha Fernando. Priyantha, welcome aboard. Of course, I got my marketing manager, Benny Valenzuela, with me as well. How you doing today, Priya?
Very good, very good. How you all doing?
Good. I like you because you're always in the hangouts, you know, and you're always asking good questions. So I love participation, especially in the Academy. So we invited you here because you found me. You're doing the Academy, and you use Raise Your Voice. So I want to know a little bit about you. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I live in upstate New York, but I grew up outside of right outside of Baltimore, and Baltimore, Maryland. Originally born in Jamaica, but I was 10 months old when we left, and 35 years old. Um, yeah, I am a pianist by trade. I went to music school, music industry program at Syracuse University. So piano was my main instrument. Secondary instrument was voice, and studied a little bit of composition. Unfortunately, that doesn't translate well into pop music. It's
Yep.
you know, so yeah, just always been looking after college for a way to nail singing down. You know, I don't know what it was. They weren't big on technique.
Yeah, dude, I've been there with you. I'm not knocking colleges, but before I moved to Hollywood, I actually studied at a college in Ohio, and they didn't know what to make of me. I loved my vocal coach during that time, and we're still friends to this day. But she says, Jamie, you're a bass. You're never going to sing high. But yet I was wailing on Bullet Boys, AC/DC. She couldn't quite figure it out. So they were low on technique. At least that college was. You know, there's not a lot to it, which is kind of sad. You know, I like to see this stuff taught in colleges. So you finished college. And you mentioned that they don't really apply to pop. So what do you like to sing? What are you into singing?
Um, Mainly of necessity, the modern Christian praise and worship music.
Okay.
My favorite band is Delirious out of the UK. They're not together anymore. They're kind of like the Christian version of Radiohead, kind of the dream
Oh,
pop,
cool.
indie rock feel. Another guy from England, Tim Hughes, Chris Tomlin, Matt Redman. That's another guy from England. Mostly sing that kind of music. I also enjoy Irving Berlin, singing that sort of stuff, and art songs by like Ray Vaughan Williams, some musical theater, stuff like
Well,
that. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just thinking out loud. Go ahead.
Um, what I would love to be able to sing is power metal, you know, and that's one thing I'll talk about in a little bit. When you ask some other questions, I'll get into that.
Well, dang it! I was getting ready to say, see, singers, I don't just teach rock and metal. Check out Priyantha and what he's into. And they're like, I don't want to sing power metal. Like, dang it! Nah, no, it's cool. It works for every style. And I love that you sing praise and worship. Actually, I never sang with a praise and worship band. I was too busy. I actually was doing some Christian music of my own, some Christian rock for actually the songs. If you guys have watched Beyond Stage Presence, one of my instructional videos, all those songs, they don't come out and sing about Christ, but they're very positive songs, you know, about something instead about drugs and, you know, banging everybody. They just wanted to have a positive message. But I did, for our youth band, I used to run sounds, you know, for the church. So, you know, love a lot of Christian contemporary pop, so that's cool. So how did you get started singing?
It was even when I was a kid. I'd say even like kindergarten. You know, we had our little choirs. I'd like to sing. Um, but it wasn't until high school I joined our regular choir as well as our gospel choir. And you know, there was no training there either. And also, I was into the thespian society, so I did all the musicals. And as you know, with musicals, I'm a baritone. Those parts, some of the lead parts are like tenor parts. It was
Hmm.
killer trying to sing that. So you know, people said, "Oh yeah, you have a pretty good voice." So they said, you know, when I got to college, I figured I'd study um, with a professional teacher. You know, and actually, it's funny. Her son is the lead singer of the band Earth Crisis. They're like a thrash metal band, now Freya. So it's kind of funny to have her on one end, the operatic singer, her son on the other
Yeah.
end. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how I got started singing. It was mainly in high school through choir and musicals.
Now, ironically, I was in plays. in like grade school, like in fifth grade, I sang, and I was in choir sixth to eighth grade, middle school, and I did a lot of theater, like at a local museum. But by the time I got to high school, I just got like disinterested in it. I didn't even want to join choir. I felt like it was a. I mean, I'm not saying this to bash high school. It almost felt like a clique to me. I just went off and did my own thing. I was just singing a lot of rock music and pop music and just recording that on my own, just to have fun with it. But again, the same thing. I love my choir director in my middle school. I even thank her and Raise Your Voice. Her name is Vicky Ballsinger. She did warm us up, and I'm sure she did teach us some technique, but I don't remember. I was so young. But it probably wasn't like what we do at the academy, because it is a little more. I don't want to use the word scientific because I don't want to make it sterile, but it's more street smarts, like locked in and solid. So with that said, I want to kind of jump around with these questions since we're going on this path. I want to know, you were searching. Maybe you didn't find what you wanted in college. Were you searching for a year and then you found me? Did you find me right off, or how did you find me to begin with?
Well, it was actually summer of 2012, 2 years ago. I had been through various books. I'm not going to mention any names.
That's cool. Yeah, because there's a lot of good books, and I don't want to alienate anybody. So that's cool.
Right, but there's some good teachers from Berkeley, from Musicians Institute in Hollywood. But the thing.
I went to Musicians Institute, so yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So the thing that I was really searching for online, you can always tell when I go to Amazon, I look for how many 1-star, 2-star ratings do you get. So I'm going through all these vocal coaches, just putting in whatever, voice training. And my problem was, before I found Raise Your Voice, nobody taught technique. I'm the melancholic personality type. I need details. I need like tons of details, explanations. So I just was scrolling down and I saw Raise Your Voice, and I saw that you had it looked like a perfect 5-star rating, and all you had was 2 of each, 2 1-star, 2 2-star, 2 3-star, and then it just exploded with 5 stars. I was reading through all the 5 stars and all the things that they were saying. Some guys saying one night of your breathing technique set him off the charts. His band noticed. So I first bought your book, Ultimate Breathing Workout, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the International House of Prayer in Kansas City. They have 24/7 prayer and praise and worship. We were trying to build that here in upstate New York. So I remember I'd been working on your book for a couple months, and there's spontaneous prophetic style singing sometimes where you really have to have your technique locked in. So I remember I was just holding out this note, and I'm like, why is this so easy? And my wife looked over at me, her eyes got big, and she's like, what's going on? Because the breathing technique that you teach in that book just had me solidly
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah.
So I got your book for my birthday that year, 2012, and I was just blown away. My question is, I keep asking, why wasn't I ever told this in college? Even things like cooling down. You talk about cooling down in the book, and you saved me. It's Monday now. I could sing yesterday evening if I wanted to, because I sing in church, and I cool down right afterwards, and that alone has saved me from a couple days of being hoarse and being in a lot of pain.
Absolutely. Well, people, especially the ones that play in bars, they don't realize. Well, it's not smoke like it used to be, but especially if you're doing rock or something, you're hitting it so hard. And then a lot of them will quit. They're done for the night, and then they go right out. They turn on the jukebox, the music's blaring, and they start talking to all their fans before they've kind of cooled down, kind of just let the voice relax, kind of settle back down into its natural state. Because we are vocal Olympians. I mean, when you're out there, whether you're in praise and worship or we're doing a gig or touring, whatever it is, you're using your whole body. So it's like a runner. A runner don't smoke a cigarette and drink a Mountain Dew and go line up for the race. I mean, they stretch out, they get ready, and then they get pumped up and psyched up, and boom! And then at the end of the race, they don't just stop, because you could get muscle spasms, you could lock up. The way it affects oxygen in the body, slamming yourself shut, you could go into seizures. I've seen my cousin do it when we used to jog. So you have to cool down. It does make a huge difference, and it will save your voice, and it will let you sing as well at 80 as when you were 18. It's about taking care of your body.
Right.
So, and it's funny thing, I got to jump back. I love it that there's 2 1 stars, 2 2 stars. And yeah, people, I have author friends who are like, oh, why don't you contact Amazon and have those removed? Those are so bad. I just giggle because all reviews are good, and even the bad ones. And it's funny, like there's a new one that popped up on the one review, and it was like, this book sucks and it's horrible. And then I go to the person, they have no other reviews. They don't list their real name. So there's like 2 or 3 things. It's like red flag, red flag, red flag. Somebody who's either a disgruntled singer or a fellow, I don't get in that cattiness of some of these coaches where they're hating on each other. But I've been on the other end of it, and I've seen it, and students have told me what other coaches have said about me. I love them all. I have no problem. I mean, I keep myself separate, because I'm not that kind of coach. I don't have time to screw around with that when there's millions of singers out there and there's only thousands of us. It's like I'm finishing up Ray West. He's one of my favorite singers. He was in a band called Spread Eagle in the early 90s, and he wrote a book called Melody to Madness, and we really worked hard because anytime I work with an author, I want to hit it as hard as I can, make it better than my book. And, if someone wanted to come to private lessons with me, but they lived in New York and they couldn't fly, I would say, hey, you need to go to Ray. If you're on the West Coast, I want to send you to Thomas Appel. If you're in Vegas, I'll send you to Sean Williamson because I support a lot of these coaches. That's how it should be. It should be an alliance. So not to get off on a topic, but what is your warm-up routine like now? What are you doing?
Well, I'm a person that deals with a lot of muscle tension. So before I jump into the VSR, I do Moshe Feldenkrais's ATM, the awareness through movement. I do it for the shoulders and for the lungs, the breathing exercises. Then I jump into the VSR, but while I'm doing the VSR, I'm drinking hot water with a good amount of cayenne pepper, a little bit of
Gotcha. Oh, so what do you use do you use liquid cayenne or what do you do?
the organic powder, and I use a little bit of lemon juice or lime juice.
So how much, just for singers who watch this, because that's actually really good. I don't even do that. So you get some hot water in a cup, and how much of the organic lemon and the cayenne do you stick in?
The lemon, just a squeeze, and
Mhm.
probably 1 to 2 caps full of the Bragg apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
And I would say 4 to 5 shakes, like good shakes of the cayenne. And I used to use ginger during the winter. I'm going to start doing that again. Because that it's like what David Aaron Katz said in that one Google Hangout you had him on, that it kind of fires your voice up. It opens. I feel like everything just opens up back here.
Well, that's why I got this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I need to get some of his stuff.
That is, dude, you would love it. I take it anytime I do a TV show. It comes with me. So it's been to Japan, it's been to China, it's been all over the world.
So what I do also, after I do the VSR, the vocal stress release, I have the MP3s of the Ultimate Vocal Warm-Up. I'll do that straight through, and that's really good. And sometimes because it depends on the day. If I feel like I can go all the way up to the tenor C, even if I'm switching to falsetto or reinforced false falsetto, I'll do that. But sometimes I'll drop back down. But it really does help to the lip bubbles and the gargling tone really helps to get my neck and my chin loose. And after that, if I'm practicing, I'll go into the isolation exercises and then do a little bit of singing.
And it's I love that warm up so much that I've had so many singers, and I understand some people can't afford it, so I actually made that free. I give that away now because we do it through Guitar Interactive and actually through Vendera Publishing, JaimeVendera.com, because I want people to have something that'll take care of them. And to me, it's not just about making $15. I'd rather give that away so a singer's taken care of. And now you mentioned practice. How often do you practice? Do you do 1 day a week, 5 days a week? Because I know you were recovering from being sick. So what's your routine now?
It's usually 3 to 5 days a week right now. Just very busy. We have an 11-month-old. I have a side business, and but yeah, it's just finding the time, and even throughout the day, days that I may not get to practice as much as I want. One section in the Vocal Academy, you're talking about the crystal voice phenomenon.
Yeah.
I've been just doing lip bubbles throughout the days. I get funny looks at work, at the grocery store as well. But yeah, it's just 3 to 5 days. I would like to lock in at some point to 5-6 days a week, taking 1 day for rest. Right now,
Gotcha.
It's 3 to 5. Yeah.
So when you're doing your daily workout, though, I'm assuming because you said this isolation exercises, is that what it consists of? Like you're warming up with the ultimate vocal warm up MP3s, and then are you doing falsetto slide, transcending tone, sirens, or what is your kind of routine? Because I know you're in the academy, and I kind of switch it up. You know, maybe have you doing super sirens, or maybe one week it's just transcending tones, or maybe it's Jim Gillette vocal power skills. What is your workout routine right now?
Right now it's just because of the illness. I'm going back just to starting doing the basic falsetto slide, basic transcending tone, and the basic sirens.
Sirens. Now you know you can do those through a straw too. Well, we talked about that in the Google Hangouts. But if
Yeah,
you feel like I've lost a little bit of vocal muscle, and you just put the straw in the water, and you don't have to worry about the vowels then, but you do the transcending tone, falsetto slide, tiny siren, really big. That will help to put a cap on that breath. And it's very therapeutic. You know, it'll definitely help your voice to help you to whip you back into shape where you were.
yeah. I did that for a little while I was still coughing. I'm pretty
Okay.
good now, so I just working on that. And I've picked up the ultimate breathing workout again, going through all those exercises and putting it in the diary the ultimate vocal diary.
Well, let me ask you, don't you think that it's a pain when because I started it again because I'm keeping my diary, and I'm like looking at my old diaries, I'm like, dang, I've really dropped off on like my sustains and stuff for the breathing workout exercises, and I'm like, it's a beast to try to hold, so, like hold your breath for 3 or 4 minutes. It's like I'm barely making it a minute right now, and I wrote the book, but it shows you that it's very powerful.
Yeah, and I gotta maintain it too, because I was getting a little dizzy. When the exercise where you exhale
Yep.
everything and you hold your breath, I can only get up to about 30, 45 seconds, and I was ready to fall over. So I
Yeah,
got to
no,
get back
it's
into it.
tough. Same thing with me, but the one thing I noticed about the breathing workout, if you're adding it again, Priyantha, even though you're not doing isolation every day, if you're keeping that diary, I would try to do the breathing workout every day, 7 days a week, no breaks, because what I've noticed is if I skip a day or so or take the weekend off, by that Monday it's just a little harder to maintain what I had that previous Friday. So, but you get to a certain point, eventually you reach a point that I'll just use it as maintenance. So, how do you keep your voice healthy? I like the thing about the lemon juice, organic, and the cayenne pepper. What else do you do to keep your voice in shape?
Um, what I do is as you can see here, I have the similar canteen that you have. I drink hot water. I've given up drinking cold water or even just room temperature water. It helps to get rid of, you said, inflammation in the body, and I feel like my vocal cords are always very relaxed, very loose. Um, Certain foods I've tried to give up. I've tried to get away from a lot of processed foods, sugar. I still eat junk food every now and then, but also with the coffee, I know I've mentioned I sell a healthy coffee,
Yes,
the Ganoderma lucidum in it. That
spread it. Spread the name. Tell us about it.
okay. Um, yeah, it's you've mentioned Ganoderma in Raise Your Voice in the herb section because originally I was looking for something to increase my white blood cell count, and
Hmm.
Ganoderma does that. So that coffee is actually it's part of my post singing regimen. Whenever I sing, I'll have a cup of that, and it helps to soothe and relax. I still get the energy like you get from coffee, but it neutralizes the acidic effects of coffee, like the acid reflux, the jitters, the constricting of the vocal cords, dehydration. All of that's gone because the Ganoderma brings you. It helps to alkalize your body. First, it neutralizes the acidic effects. I can't make any medical claims, but this is just my personal experience and
Hmm.
others that I've talked to. So also, what I do to keep my voice healthy is I start drinking hot water first thing when I wake up. And like you said earlier, when people play out in clubs or you're at a party. I was recently at a graduation party. I had to really be careful not to speak too loud because sometimes you're trying to shout over the music over other people. I'm just really learning to be careful of how loud I speak, where I'm speaking. If you're at a big venue, I keep quiet at sporting events. It's a golf clap now, or just pumping my fist.
No,
You know,
no, I totally agree. That's what
yeah,
messes me up. If you're trying to talk above the crowd or the music, you could really wear out your voice. So very, very good things. I'm interested in the coffee. Love for you to share it I don't care if you're promoting that you're selling it. Share it on the Raise Your Voice group and in the Facebook group, the How to Sing with Jaime Vendera. Let people know. That's what that's for. So I hope you pick up 100 customers, 1,000 customers. I just want people to know because caffeine is such a diuretic, and there is good forms of caffeine that you can, like the green tea and stuff, as long as it don't have the sugar in it. If it's got to be sweet, you can use stevia or something like that. But people who have that coffee fix, maybe that's the answer. Maybe you just gave them the answer. So you found me, you tried the breathing workout, then eventually you bought Raise Your Voice. And what results have you personally gotten from training? More notes? Are you breaking glass now? What's going on?
No, actually, I have modest goals. Well, I've picked up, before I got sick, I was, doing the exercises. Normally I would be able to get up to comfortably F sharp 4, G4 when vocalizing. This is when I was tired and I wasn't feeling well. I was doing the siren. I went up to a B flat 4.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
crazy.
and it was just full voice. And my wife, again, her eyes popped out of her head. She's like, "Where did that come from?" So I've gained range. Even my pastor, when he hears me sing sometimes, he was like, "Whoa, the range is." And also I love singing in falsetto. I love singing high. I used to be a huge Prince fan.
Oh, I still am.
I love that freight train. I love those high
Oh,
notes.
yeah.
So one thing that you've done for me, reading Raise Your Voice, is through the falsetto exercise, and then plus your explanation of the vocal cords coming together. When you're going higher and the zipper technique,
Hmm.
and how it's going to thin out. You've given me the ability now. It's like I can pop out a natural A5 like it's no problem, all day long, and it's not going to be any problem. I want to get up to that freight train D6 at
Yeah.
some point, but I've gained that range. Also, you've helped me take care of my voice because after singing in church or when I was playing out like solo or way back when I was in an electronica band, I would my voice would just go. There'd be like a day or two or even more that I couldn't do anything. I was just sore because no one told me to what's the word, to cool down.
Cool down.
No one told me what to drink, what to do. And another thing that I've gained from this is I don't know if any other singers watching this experience this, but even singing in college, I would always have a pain right here, and it felt like the back of my tongue was swollen. And the exercise that you have in the VSR, to press down the
Yeah.
root of the tongue, I can't believe how it's done wonders for me. Like I don't have pain anymore. It releases so much tension.
Well, with the pressing down on the tongue, how long? It's so funny. We talked about that in the last interview with Tommy Sherman, and I was
Yeah.
telling him how from Japan getting back to Dallas, I was feeling a little under the weather, and I did that. I was like, wait a minute, I think I got a swollen taste bud. But when you first started doing that, how long did it take you to get to the roots without puking?
Uh, two or three times. Even now, it'll take me one time pretty far back. I'll go back a little bit further the second time. Then I'll hit the bumpy parts of
Yes.
the root of the
Yeah, that
tongue.
little bump
Yeah.
all the way down there. It's crazy. But when you do and you dig, I'm assuming you dig in and you
Oh yeah.
pull out that stress.
Oh yeah.
So much because the tongue's such a huge muscle that can get in our way. So that's cool. I'm so glad that you're doing better and people are noticing. Your pastor, your wife. It's those moments that make you happy as a singer.
Oh yeah.
When you're holding some note out, you're sustaining, or you're really pouring your heart into it, and someone else takes notice, just looks at it, he's like, wait a minute, where did that come from? So I'm so pleased when I hear my singers, my students actually lock onto this. And not to jump around, but we're about done. But I do want to know, you are a member of the Academy. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. How are you? We're actually going back and adding a bunch of stuff, and as the Academy grows, we're always going to be adding. Benny and I together, our brains are on fire, so we're always adding new things. How has the Academy? You had to Raise Your Voice to breathing workout. How did the Academy advance it any? How did it help you?
It, twofold. It helped me having a weekly regimen that helps to keep me disciplined. It's like I know that I have to keep up with the classwork, and I like the variations that you added. Once we got past, I think it was week 6 or 7, you started adding variations to the exercises that kind of it kept me from getting to the point where it's like, oh, I can just, do my isolations without any thinking about it. Then you introduce the Farley's pocket tone, and I got to
Yep.
try and sustain things for 15 seconds. So it's really, you really are pushing us. But also one thing I appreciate is the Google Hangouts,
Yeah.
that we can actually get to talk to you face to face. I was having some trouble with a little vocal press, a vocal strain doing the sirens, and both you and Benny picked it out immediately. You said you're getting loud when you get to the top. Keep the same volume, and just those little things, those little minute things that you can get tweaked when you're actually plugged in. You
Well,
know,
that's the key because no, and I knew you was a member of the academy. My brain's just shot because you're always on the Hangouts.
that's all
But
right.
it's no book or no video or no audio program is ever going to replace a vocal coach. And I'm saying that, and I put out tons of books. I mean, I want to sell many books, but that's the flat out honest truth. They all will help. They can guide you. But a lot of times, even the professional singers that I've worked with who've been singing and touring for 30 years, they can always use somebody that's outside their body and looking and catching the minute things that they have grown accustomed to and fix a little thing that you may not recognize, just like you said, Benny and I caught with you, and it makes the world a difference.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So one last question is,
Sure.
someone's in church, to come there and watch a praise and worship, and you're singing or you're in a play or whatever you're doing, and someone's like, wow, Priyantha, that was amazing. You got such great tone. I want to sing. What advice would you give them if they wanted to become a singer?
I would say, honestly, and I'm not just plugging your book here. I would say raise your voice, because I would want to prevent any aspiring new singer from starting off on the wrong foot, because I'd say get it before you even try to start singing. Read it, read through it, see what Jamie has to say, and I would encourage them to join the Vendera Vocal Academy. Um, because like the young boy on the Facebook page in the Philippines, I don't remember his name, but how he blew out his voice after, I think, drinking too much soda, or just singing too loud, singing too much. The voice is a living instrument. Yeah, that's his name. Thank you. Benny just put it up, Jim. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I don't. The voice is a living instrument. You don't want it to. You only get one. You only get one. You can buy guitars, as you said before. You can buy new pianos, but you've really got to care for your voice. It's a living, breathing instrument. So I'd
Well,
encourage them to buy the book and get on the Vandera
well,
Vocal
and
Academy.
Jim is a good kid, and it took him a long time to realize that asking questions just wasn't enough. So I know he started studying, which is perfect for his age because he's 12 or 13. He started studying the Sing Out Loud series, which is raise your voice for kids. I just stripped out all the stuff that they didn't need, like the 100 pages of vocal health, and focused really on what they could do. And I'm sure he's doing much better with it. So I really appreciate it, man. I'm very thankful that you've came to here to do this interview with me. And what shocks me, I'm so humbled. You're sitting here talking about my book. I don't even feel like an author, and I've written so many books, but I scratch my head, and I've actually had people tell me they've been to like airports and they've seen someone with a book and they're like, wait a minute, and it was Raise Your Voice,
Oh,
and
really? Wow.
I'm like so humbled thinking there's thousands upon thousands of people who actually use this book, and and only two people who give me a 1 star on Amazon. So
I
so
like
yeah.
I like the comment there. I was reading today. One guy just totally thrashed your book, gave you a 2-star rating, and you chimed in and you said, "Hey, now," they said, "there's at least 31 pages of valuable information in here."
Yeah, because he said there's only about 30 pages of valuable information. That stuff don't bother me, it don't. I'm like, I just kind of laugh about it and go on, because the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
If you get this book, if you join the academy, like yourself, like all the other people I've interviewed, like all the thousands of singers I've taught since 1996, if you just do this stuff, and if you're faithful and you work, you can't help but build vocal muscle, which supports what you're doing. You're building your instruments. So you're living proof, man. So stay in touch, because when you start putting out some stuff, of course, we want to share it.
Yeah.
Let people see your videos and stuff, and keep singing praise and worship. I'm very, very thankful you're doing that.
Thank you, and thanks both of you guys for doing the interview.
We had a blast. We want to thank you. So, Benny, you got anything else to say? I usually talk and leave you out of it.
No, I think we're good to go. So we're going to put this up on Jamie's YouTube and his website. Priyantha, once you have a band, you got your YouTube videos or something, just let us know, and we'll add them to the description of this video. If you're watching this on Jamie's website, there will be links to Priyantha's stuff. So yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
All right.
The unicorn man doesn't fit in here, so I'll wait to send it.
Unicorn.
People just gotta find you on Facebook to see what we're talking about.
I want to get one of those masks. I'm gonna go get one right now off Amazon.
Amazon, yeah, get it off Amazon.
Yeah.
You need to get two of them so you and Alan can be like,
yeah.
like you're dueling.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, singers, thank you for tuning in. Again, this is Priyantha Fernando, and we are very excited to keep doing these singer spotlight interviews so we can show you the singers that are benefiting from this and let you learn about them and hear their side of the story. So thank you, and we'll see you the next Singer Spotlight.